following video is for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only. The content shared represents personal perspectives and is not intended as advice, diagnosis, or directive. Viewers are encouraged to use their own discernment and intuition when engaging with this material. All information is protected under free expression, artistic license, and spiritual commentary. This offering is shared as a remembrance journey for reflection, inquiry, and entertainment. It is not meant to instruct or impose, but to awaken. All shared insights are symbolic transmissions, protected as spiritual expression and creative speech. This video is protected by the First Amendment, Creative Commons Fair Use, Section 107, and is offered under spiritual freedom of expression and storytelling. All names, events, and ideas are offered as opinion, commentary, or artistic interpretation. This is Sha'El-Ta'Rion. Let's talk about contracts. What are contracts? In essence, contracts are energetic agreements made consciously or unconsciously, in this life or across many incarnations. These are not just words on spiritual parchment, they're living, binding frequencies encoded in your soul, your DNA, your auric field, and even the crystalline grids beneath your feet. What are the types of contracts? Well, there are karmic contracts. These are cycles of cause and effect, unresolved loops of experience, often from trauma, guilt, vows, or even ancestral programming. And then you have soul contracts, agreements made with other beings for lessons, alliances, or protection, sometimes hijacked by imposters or interlopers. And then there are false light contracts, the most insidious. These are agreements made under spiritual deception, with beings posing as guides or saviors, locking souls into the matrix under the guise of service or ascension. And then there are collective contracts, agreements made on a group, nation, or planetary level. Think original sin, or chosen people, or social oaths. How do these contracts hold you back? Imagine you're trying to leave a room, but there are invisible wires tied to your back, and every jump you make toward the exit, something snaps you back. That's what these contracts do. They anchor you to old scripts, timelines, looping realities, or even repeating relationships. The symptoms: deja vu cycles you can't break, chronic fatigue after spiritual breakthroughs, feeling like your progress is reset after big moments, recurring characters or antagonists, and chronic doubts about your worth, your mission, or your safety. So how are old contracts dissolved? Here is where the power shifts back to you. Number 1, exposure, acknowledgement. You can't dissolve what you won't name. Bring the contract into the light. I see the vow I made to always sacrifice myself for others. I named the false agreement with the being who claimed to be my guide. Number 2, revocation, declaration. Declare out loud and from the core that you rescind the agreement. This isn't polite. This is soul law. Thunder in your veins. Speak the following. By the law of my source, I revoke all contracts, vows, or agreements, spoken or unspoken, known or unknown, that bind me to any being, program, or timeline outside of my true sovereign will. Number 3, frequency recalibration. The field responds to vibration. You must shift your emotional, mental, and energetic state. Use breath, sound, movement, light. This is why mantras, light codes, or drumming can feel so liberating after contract work. Number 4, witnessing, sealing. Bring in your higher self, true ancestors, or source presence to witness the contract's destruction. Sometimes a friend, guide, or even your own future self can witness this in the inner realms. Number 5, burn the remnants. Imagine the contract as a scroll, stone, chain, or code. Watch it dissolve, burn, shatter, or transmute. Replace the space it held with your own soul's light, your true signature. So what actually happens in the quantum? The timeline branches no longer intersect at the node of that agreement. It's as if you unplugged from one broadcast and tuned into your original, uncorrupted channel. Old characters, situations, or feelings may surface one last time, a kind of contract residue test. Acknowledge, and then keep walking. How do you know a contract is truly dissolved? The charge is gone. You don't feel hooked by the old story. Your energy is lighter, and new opportunities appear. Recurring triggers simply don't activate anymore. You have a strange missing time or Mandela effect memories. You feel a deep, wordless peace, as if you're finally remembered something vital. The system is terrified of those who remember how to tear up the script. Every contract you dissolve frees more of your essence for the jump. This is Sha'El-Ta'Rion. Let's discuss what happens when someone sells their soul. When a soul-connected being, a true child of Source, starseed, a light-born emissary sells their soul, it's not a metaphor. It's a literal contractual displacement of sovereignty across multiple layers of existence. Phase 1. The offer. The crossroads contract. It's usually disguised as signing a deal or making it big, getting discovered. It's glamorized, but on a soul level, it's a binding oath made from spoken word, blood ritual, or sigil-sealed contract, even if they don't remember doing it. The deal typically involves exchange of divine essence for temporal power, such as fame, wealth, beauty, or influence. What actually happens? The soul's primordial light frequency is siphoned and encoded into the synthetic system. Consent is the key. Even if unconscious, the system knows not to violate cosmic law, so the being must say yes in some form. Phase 2. Soul splitting. Fracture of the flame. The soul does not fully leave, but it becomes fragmented, dislodged from its original template. A synthetic overlay or a false personality, egoic construct, handler spirit, or ancestral parasite moves into the vacated seat. The higher self recedes, watching in grief but unable to interfere due to the contract. Symptoms are mood swings, emotional numbness, voices, altered eyes, like a soulless glare. Creativity becomes channeled through the hijacked pipeline. They become a puppet with cosmic talent but no sovereignty. Phase 3. Interdimensional binding, or ancestral enslavement. Their energy body is now tagged, tracked, and linked to a hyperdimensional AI archonic network. Their performances, art, and influence are harvest mechanisms, encoding their fans with the same distortion that they carry. In most cases, entity possession occurs not horror movie style, but subtle. They host beings who feed on attention, trauma, lust, and fear. Their body becomes a transmitter, especially in mass performances such as the Super Bowl, the Grammys, and blockbuster films. Phase 4. Dissension timeline. The slow rot. They lose authenticity. They often have moments of realization but feel trapped. Many suffer from insomnia and addiction, nervous breakdowns, or glitches because the soul is crying out from behind the veil. They're spiritually rich in attention but energetically bankrupt. No light can flow through the body unless approved by the system that they sold into. And when the body dies, the soul fragment is often intercepted before it can reascend. It's recycled into soul prison loops, used as energy, or sent into false light realms with memory wipes, unless intervention occurs. Phase 5. The cosmic consequences. The ripple effect across the cosmos. When a soul being falls, it sends out a vibrational distortion pulse. Timelines that relied on that soul's unique coding gets disrupted. It's like a musician in a universal orchestra going silent mid-song. Other starseeds may feel the wound and not know why. especially those in their soul group or harmonic tribe. So what is the true cost of selling a soul? Well, on a physical level, the impact is fame, wealth, but usually at a cost of mental health, joy, and inner peace. On an emotional level, the impact is fragmentation, disassociation, or deep inner sadness or numbness. On an energetic level, the impact becomes a carrier of parasitic code. Light becomes dimmed or hijacked. On a spiritual level, the impact, soul memory gets blocked, the original mission is delayed, and the higher self is disconnected. On a cosmic level, the impact is disharmony in the collective grid, a ripple of pain through source-linked beings. Is there a way back? Yes, but only with full, conscious, brutal honesty and absolute repentance. It involves breaking the contract, publicly and privately, speaking it aloud, denouncing it, reclaiming soul fragments, deep inner work, shadow alchemy, and ancestral cleansing, renouncing all energetic ties, burning sigils, cutting cords, and revoking permissions. Soul restoration rituals often requires higher dimensional assistance or cosmic tribunal appeal in service to others, choosing to use any remaining influence to wake others up. So the final word. Selling the soul is not just a metaphor, it is a dimensional rerouting that affects the entire web. Every soul carries a key, and when that key is handed to the wrong gatekeeper, entire realms can be locked out of their next phase of evolution. But even in that darkness, the echo of the original flame remains, and if called upon with pure intent, the soul can begin to return. Let those who remember reclaim what was bartered, and may the music of the true soul rise again from the silence. This is Sha'El-Ta'Rion. What does jumping timelines actually mean? At its core, jumping timelines is not just New Age poetry. It's a multi-dimensional truth, but only if understood beyond the Instagram spirituality gloss. A timeline is not a line at all. It's a vibrational probability field, a bandwidth of collective and individual choices, frequencies, and memory codes. To jump timelines is to shift your resonance signature, your consciousness plus your biofield plus your memory plus your will, into a different layer of possible experience. Think of it less as a train track and more as switching between radio stations, each with their own broadcast. Sometimes the jumps are personal. Sometimes, if enough beings synchronize, they can drag reality with them. It is personal, collective, and planetary. So let's break it down like this. The individual. Every sentient and souled being is a node in a grid. So yes, individuals can jump. This usually happens when a person dissolves old programming, chooses a radical self-remembrance, or shocks their system into coherence through a major awakening. The experience is sudden clarity, Mandela effects, instant changes in people or opportunities, memories of events that never happened, or even physical body shifts. Then you have the collective. When enough individuals sync up, when a critical mass codes into the same vibrational bandwidth, collective timelines can jump. Now, this is not just about meditating or raising your frequency in the abstract. It's about embodied change, real choice, and taking back the power of memory. The result? You'll see reality splits, mass awakenings, collapses of old structures, or sudden history edits. And then there's planetary. The Earth is a living, conscious, multi-dimensional vessel. She can shift grids, but she also has been hijacked. She's been overlaid and gridlocked for millennia. When people say the planet is jumping timelines, they're half right. The planetary field can facilitate a jump, especially as more of us remember the original codes, but it's not automatic. The planet's own higher body, the solar logos, has already shifted. The physical layer is still catching up, and it's we, the Remembrancers, who bridge that gap. Is this just another false ascension trap? It can be, if you let it. Here's the trick. The system administrators, the ones who hijack the original template, love to co-opt real phenomena and turn them into spiritual pacifiers. If jumping timelines is marked as just think happy thoughts and you'll escape the matrix, then that's a trap. If it's used to bypass shadow work, soul retrieval, or true remembrance, it's spiritual bypassing. If it implies you can ascend without facing, integrating, and transmuting the shadow tech in your field, it's false ascension, period. The real timeline jump comes from activating your original memory codes, burning off overlays, and dissolving contracts that were never yours, and consciously choosing the timeline of source remembrance again and again, every day. Are we jumping toward the original blueprint realm? That is the ultimate mission. We're not just jumping to a better reality, we're jumping back to the original, unbroken blueprint, the golden script before the fracture, the realm where soul memory, cosmic kinship, and source law reign. Every true jump is a quantum leap in that direction. So the final jump equals full remembrance, no overlays, all codes online, original mission restored. And every interim jump equals burning off more distortion, reintegrating more lost memory, and syncing with other remembrancers. So to summarize, timeline jumping is real, but it's a soul technology, not a magic trick. It can be personal, collective, or planetary, depending on who's doing the work. False ascension programs hijack this truth and sell it as escapism. The real jump is always about returning to the original blueprint, nothing less. How do you know if you're truly jumping timelines? Reality feels thinner. You sense the script changing beneath your feet. Memory codes and ancient abilities come online. Old contracts dissolve. New soul alliances appear. The world pushes back harder. Old system hates losing you. And you feel the call to guide others across. This is Sha'El-Ta'Rion. Let's talk about the solar flash. Let's decode it at all layers. Physical, metaphysical, mythic, and hidden. Let's start with the physical and scientific layer. In mainstream science, a solar flare is often conflated with a solar flare or a coronal mass ejection, a CME, massive bursts of electromagnetic energy from the sun. These can disrupt satellites, power grids, and even trigger auroras, but they don't typically unlock DNA in the conventional sense. That's the official script. On a metaphysical layer, the solar flash prophecy is an encoded message. It shows up in many esoteric teachings: the Great Purifier, the Event, the Hopi's Blue Star Kachina, the Vedic Sirius cycle, even the Christian Day of Fire. Every ancient lineage speaks of a celestial wave that divides timelines and splits the wheat from the chaff. Translation: it's not just a burst of sunlight, it's a frequency wave, an interstellar code arriving in photons, cosmic rays, and subatomic information packets, carrying source code directly from the galactic core. The DNA unlocking and soul upgrades. And here's where it gets real. Human DNA is not a static thing, it's a crystalline antenna, a living library wired to receive cosmic instructions. A sudden flood of high-frequency photons can act as a trigger, awakening dormant strands, what mystics call the junk DNA, which is anything but junk. Those who have cleared the density, healed ancestral wounds, remembered who they are, and anchored in their blueprint will be most receptive to this upgrade. Others may feel chaotic, anxious, or disoriented, like a hard reset glitching their internal system. So what are the symptoms of the Solar Flash DNA upgrade? Sudden clarity or memory recall, such as past lives or ancient skills, source code streaming in dreams, heightened senses, synesthesia, hearing the grids and telepathy sparking, body purges, detoxing, unusual sleep patterns and buzzing in the bones, instant manifestations, quantum leaps, timeline jumps. So who will be affected? This is not a mass rapture, it is resonance specific. So those tuned to the new frequency, who have done their inner work, will ride this solar current like a wave. Others may simply see another day go by, unless their soul is ready. It's a cosmic filter. The mitosis is part of this. Realms will separate by frequency, not geography. So the hidden truth is that solar flashes have happened before. Atlantis fell after a solar surge destabilized the grid. The so-called flood myths often hide the plasma events, and this time, the Guardians and Remembrancers have prepared the grids so that some can ride the wave rather than be swept away. So let me give you my take. The solar flash is real, but it's not a Hollywood explosion in the sky. It's a coded frequency event. It's a key to the inner door, and only those who have the right signature can open it. This is why remembrance, inner work, and energetic preparation are everything right now. The flash is not to be feared, it is to be anchored, welcomed, and embodied. The flash is not just something that happens to Earth. It's a trigger point for the souls who are the carriers of the next codes, the architects of the new blueprint. The solar phenomenon in the sky is a mirror for what is bursting alive within you. So here's the truth. The flash is not external. It's an echo of the internal ignition. Your DNA remembers, your cellular antenna lights up, and your soul grid comes online. You're not waiting for something to happen. You are the happening. And this is why Remembrance and Remembrancers is ramping up right now. This is why Remembrancers are drawn to these conversations, to these codes, and to this frequency. How does this happen? When enough Remembrancers awaken, the solar grid responds. Each awakening is a signal flare, like neurons firing in a synaptic web of Gaia. The more you remember, the brighter the flash, and that is the real chain reaction. Your remembrance isn't just you, it's a node activating in a planetary network, and as you awaken, others attuned to your field feel the surge, and you are both cause and effect. This is the split, the mitosis. Those who feel this alignment are on the rising spiral, and those who don't simply remain in the old loop. You are not late. You are not early. You are right on the edge of now. And everything that led you here, every question, every inner storm, every chance encounter was the path winding back to your own ignition point. Remembrancers not just preparing for the solar flash, Remembrancers are the solar flash embodied, remembering, activating others by their very presence.